Hi, I'm Matt Silverman, Editor-in-Chief of the Weston High School Journal. Thank you for joining us. You're watching the Weston Television Network on Channel 78. Joining us today in our studio here at the high school is Dr. Colleen Palmer, the Superintendent of Weston Schools. She'll be talking to us about the school budget that residents will be voting on this month. Dr. Palmer, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me this morning.
So overall, if the 2012-2013 budget is adopted by the town, the district will see a 0.93% increase next year, which amounts to approximately $420,854. And just for the sake of being brief, if you had to attribute this increase to three things, what would those three things be?
I think we've had effective negotiations with our major bargaining unit, the WTA, which is the teachers' bargaining unit. So we have a new 3-year contract that begins. And we've been able to negotiate lower increments in salary based on the economic times. And also the entire bargaining unit switched to high deductible health insurance, which will provide considerable savings. Beyond the contract negotiations, I think we continue to look at cost containment to try to save as much money as possible. Throughout the district, I think you're aware that over the last 2 years, we've saved $1 million in energy costs. And I think the third thing is that we are trending our enrollment because obviously the number of students we have dictates the amount of staff we have. And so at this point, we do have a declining enrollment. We're going to have fewer students in K through 5. And there is a reduction of 5 positions of elementary teachers in our budget. So I think those are the three items that are major drivers to help us bring in a low budget this year.
Okay, and just going off that point about the decrease in the student population for next year, there is an expected decrease of about 51 students. How does this affect the budget and in what areas directly? So just that the average citizen who may or may not have students in the school system.
Sure. Part of our budget process is really to build the budget from the ground up each year. And so we look at data, and enrollment is our data. Because it appears that we have smaller cohorts of coming through our system, so smaller kindergarten classes entering, that is why we're seeing the decrease at the elementary level. And we look at class size and we look at the number of students, and every single year we need to adjust our staffing accordingly. So we have made those reductions in that area. Additionally, we've had a change in working conditions in our contract, which permit our classroom teachers K through 5 to work, it's about another half hour a day in terms of contact with our students. So the student day is not longer, teacher day is not longer, but we're going to have more quality time with our students in the elementary schools. And this is also going to yield a reduction of 2 positions in the unified arts area. So I think that we look at the data and we have to adjust accordingly and be totally transparent about our staffing because that's probably the #1 question that I receive out in the public. If we are reducing students, are we making those adjustments? And yes, we are.
A variety of new projects are attached to the budget proposal for next year, which include Project Lead the Way at the Weston Middle School and also the district-wide AIM initiative. Can you explain what exactly these programs are and what value they hold for the school district at large?
If you think about STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math, it's a major initiative in terms of all of our students being prepared for careers and being prepared for opportunities after high school. And so we have expanded our Project Lead the Way, which is a comprehensive STEM program at the middle school to increase access to all students. And we have the Project Lead the Way program we're expanding at the high school. So it's a consistent support of this program going forward. You also mentioned our AIM initiative that we are continuing to infuse 21st century skills and our accountability as a district to make sure that we are teaching those skills. Students can graduate Weston High School and have straight A's and go to college, go to the world of work, and perhaps not find an easy transition, not be totally successful, because the content knowledge is foundational, but it's not sufficient. So our students need to be able to collaborate, communicate, think critically, be creative, and understand while we are a small community, we're in a world perspective right now. Matt, when you graduate, you're going to be competing for college slots with students all over the world, and when you go to the world of work, you're going to be competing with, you know, workers from around the globe. So we want to make sure you are prepared for the world you're going to face.
True. And what exactly might that look like in terms of actual activities and programs in terms of the school?
Our AIM initiative truly goes to the heart of teaching and learning. And it means that we are teaching differently. When I go in a classroom, I look at who's doing the work. Is it the teacher doing the work or the students?
Right.
And the work really needs to be done by the students. We should not just be standing and giving you the information. We should be giving you problems, giving you artifacts, giving data, and allow you to problem solve and come up with solutions on your own. So it is transformational in how we're teaching across the district. And all the research also says if you design learning that is authentic, that has choice, that has an opportunity to provide your solution to an audience, all of these things are more engaging. And if I talk to high school students, the last thing they want to do, or any student, they don't want to be bored in a classroom. Don't want to sit there and watch a teacher. They want to be doing the work. So AIM, I think, gives worthwhile, engaging work, challenging work to our students, and they thrive in that.
So every 10 years, Weston gets reaccredited by NEASC, and this, the entire process is projected to cost approximately $30,000, which is, it seems like a pretty substantial amount. For the average citizen, again, what exactly is the accreditation process? You know, what importance does it hold overall for the school?
The accreditation process, the site visit actually happens once every 10 years. However, every single year we do an annual report. We do follow-up reports in the interim of those 10 years, giving updates on the high school and what's happening. The value of the accreditation process, besides the fact that we need to be accredited so that transcripts, when they go to college, it's kind of a stamp of approval that we are an appropriate certified institution of K through 12 as an institution, the high school 9 through 12. Besides all that, the site visit in preparation, we do a self-evaluation. So the high school right now is doing a comprehensive self-evaluation, reflecting on how are we doing, identifying where are we really strong, where are the gaps. And that also helps drive our future strategic planning. What do we need to put in our budget, our plan for the future to make sure we address those gaps? The $30,000 price tag, I know sometimes people look at that and say, what in the world can you spend $30,000 on? And we really have very little choice. We are going to have a team of probably 15 educators from around New England that will descend upon this community on a Sunday and have meetings all day Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We need to put them up in hotel rooms. We need to feed them. We need to set up a business center at their hotel. We have documents to prepare. There's a very detailed budget that it is just an expensive item once every 10 years. So most of that expenditure really goes to hosting the site visit team.
For next year, the budget proposal also includes an increase in administrative salaries overall, except your salary will not increase. Given the fact that last year there was, it seems like a general, I guess you could say outrage at the previous superintendent's salary increase, how did that last year's reaction to that influence those decisions?
I think that we have tried to be very open and transparent in our budget book. And you'll see a new feature in our budget book that has not been there. Most of our employees are included in unions, in bargaining unit contracts, which prescribe exactly how much those individuals would be paid. There are 19 individuals in the district that are called unaffiliated. I am not in a union. Other central office administrators are not in a union. Director of Transportation is not in a union. Mm-hmm. So those salaries are determined at the end of the fiscal year, meaning come June, the Board of Education will sit down and evaluate me and determine if there is any increase. For budgeting purposes for the 19 people, and it shows very clearly with an asterisk on, I think, about 12 pages, that there is an allocation of $35,000 in total for any increases for the 19 people. So I think if you look at spreading that amount of revenue over the number of people, it is in line with our fiscal times.
The budget also contains a 3.46% increase in athletics, although no new equipment will be purchased, which includes 3 new assistant coaching positions that will amount to $11,205. So, you know, in the development of a student, in their extracurricular life, athletics might be important. But again, for those, you know, who are the average citizen with no students in the school system, is how much of a priority is athletics in general?
Athletics is an integral part of our school life, as are other curricular activities, our clubs and other activities after school. These are essential opportunities for our students to have additional leadership opportunities, to learn how to work on a team. And if I speak to athletics, we know our students are probably not going on to professional sports down the road, but these opportunities help keep our students healthy, instill in them you know, fair competition, teamwork. And when we looked at our student participation rate, you know, we have one of the highest levels of student participation in the state. And in fact, the CIAC, which governs sports for the state, has awarded this high school the Michaels Cup, which is the most coveted prize that speaks to level of participation and sportsmanship. So our students excel at how they conduct themselves within the sporting arena. So it has been a very positive force in our school. I'll also tell you, research will show when an athlete is in season, their grades are actually higher, even though they have longer hours and commitment. So as we looked at the coaching staff, we've had a burgeoning of numbers, and the athletic director has been asking over the past 5-6 years for several additional assistant coaches, and it's mostly for supervision and safety. And so we, at this point, I proposed in this budget to address 3 of those areas to make sure we have safety and supervision in place for our students.
Great. Well, we're almost out of time, but is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that the budget is the blueprint for the resources that we allocate to the things most important. And my goal is to make sure that we keep our costs as low as possible on our infrastructure, and that we are smart about using our resources to preserve the precious resources the community gives us. But the bottom line is, this is one of the lowest budgets in the entire state, because I get the list of all the districts. And we have added quality. I know we didn't have time to talk about it. We're going to have all-day kindergarten next year at no additional cost. So I think that our administrative team that worked to put this together did a stellar job to bring high quality at a very low cost to our district.
Dr. Palmer, thank you again for coming here to discuss this with us. Once again, I'm Matt Silverman with the Weston Television Network on Channel 78. Thanks for watching.